Hello, glorious people, wherever you are on this stupendous planet called Earth. I hope you're doing well this day, evening, night, wherever you're located. Welcome to my channel here in the United States. It's called FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, Part 107, the drone test. I've passed the drone test already several months ago. I got a good score. I'm happy with my score. It could be better, but I'm happy with it. The real reason I'm making this video is really to truly keep me up to par on the FAA. Because you know, like when you pass a test, you forget all the information. The drone test is some things a part of the drone that I still remember. But, you know, when you take the drone test, it's some things that you really don't need in regular life. I had to take the METAR, but I really don't know about, I don't have to use METARs in regular life. I just look outside and say it's a good day to fly my drone. I know about statute miles, how far you need to see. The drone, you need 3 statute miles, but in real life, you just look up in the sky and say, I don't see nothing, I'm going to fly my drone. You get my part. You get my point. Some things on the test you don't use in regular life, like METARs. I don't pay attention to the weather. If it's raining, I know not to fly my drone. Stuff like that, you get me? And visual observer, I take my wife with me and she do her thing, I do my thing, and that's that. Some things you need to know, most things you don't. So that's why I'm making this drone sample test. That's really to keep me up to par and to help other people, really to keep me up to par on what I need to know. So, in my little thing, I'm trying to make probably a 30-part series. I like to cover 2 sample items. There's 60 items on the drone test, so if I do 30, I'll cover my 60. So I just do 2 sample items, not to overload you with time. So let's start with my 2 sample questions. Alright, so here we go. This the important heart of that FAA test. I'm sure it's the heart of every region's test, but here in the United States, it's definitely doing these supplement chart things. Know how to read a graph. Basically, math terms, reading a graph. You better know how to do this because it's covered like 50% of the test. So let's read it. At Carrera de Ailén Airport, which radio frequency should be used? Common traffic arrival. So that was CTAF mean. We get the radio frequency, one of the most important. Let me set my thing on a marker. Let me reduce my pen size to something small, presentable. 8, that's good. So the CTAF score right here. CTAF, that's one of them. So it's common traffic. Make it better. Common traffic advisory frequency. To monitor the airport traffic. I'm going to put it on a darker color, blue. I'm looking at a darker blue. So we look down here. Here we go. Carrera de Ailén Airport listed right here. And I got 2 frequencies. One right here. AWOS, I'll write it here. The AWOS frequency is 13,135 point. So when it comes to these radio frequencies, we don't have to say thousands or hundreds. We just say point. 135.075. And the good thing about this, when we talk about frequency, you know you better give a number. Whenever I talk about frequency, like in physics, primarily in physics, you know you better give a number. You better give some type of a number. So we got that AWOS, and we got another one right here where it has a C inside of a circle, and that number is, if I see it correctly, and it's usually a number in the hundreds. Whatever the frequency is, usually going to be in the hundreds. You know, most radio frequencies in the hundreds. 0.8. Now, AWOS. You don't need to know what it means. All you just need that W means weather. I don't care about anything else. That W means weather. And they say, which frequency should be used as a common traffic advisory? The main word up here is advisory. If it's talking about weather, it is giving me a weather advisory, but it's not giving me a common advisory. Common means it take care of everything. So I know I don't need this. I can cross this out. And by common sense, my only one is 122.8. But now, that C, this C right here, remember this, people, when you see it, that C means CTAF. So, the FAA drone test is basically a common sense test. But if you don't study with common sense, you'll get the 70 and the 70 range. You study, you get 80 and higher. So, to regurgitate, AWOS, that W means weather. That's my weather frequency. Tell me how it is outside, the forecast, whatever. The CTAF follows the common. Common means cover everything. If it's weather, that's specific. So I went to my CTAF common. So remember, I mean, CTAF means common traffic advisory frequency. But you just look at that symbol with the C on there. That means CTAF. So for this one, our answer is, I don't see no I don't see 120.05 megahertz, so that's not that. I don't see that. I do see 135.07, but that's AWOS. So weather, not that. And right here it tell you weather. See, weather. So my only one is 122.8, and that means CTAF frequency. So this is the right one right there. So I hope that was self-explanatory. I just used common sense basically, but I had to know what CTAF means. But the C give you the clue. The C give you the clue. Like I said, that was common sense. Let's keep on going down. For our last one and our final one for the day. Alright. A local TV station has hired a remote pilot to operate a small unmanned aircraft to cover breaking news. The remote pilot has multiple near misses with an obstacle on the ground and 2 small unmanned air systems. Accident. See, it involves an accident. What would be a solution for the news station to improve? Okay. Our main thing right here, to improve the operating safety scale. So it's basically common sense again. Now, the first choice, the news station should implement a policy of no more than 5 crashes. I know that's wrong, because like one crash can give you a major lawsuit. Common sense. The news station does not need to make any changes. Okay, if you crash and you need to make changes. So I'm just using common sense, people. So my next one, the news station should recognize hazardous attitudes and situations and develop standard operating policies. Common sense, that sounds like the best one, which it is. So that's it, my good people. The first one dealt with that the chart, supplement chart stuff, what you need to do for that mastering in any country you're in, you have to cover that. The second one basically was a common sense question. Which one makes the most common sense? Now, I like to always say this. For me, I use Google Forms to make 4 sample tests for myself. Those 4 sample tests help me to pass. And the thing I like about my sample test is I use Google Forms. Every test, when I keep taking it, is randomized. So realistically, I have an infinite amount of tests because I can just keep randomizing every time I take it. If you want the test, I have information at the conclusion. You can email me. I can see my test. You can use that as your practice aid. If you want to give a little love offer, like you say in church, I included my Cash App ID. Be my guest. Whatever you decide to do, I wish you well in your studying for the FAA drone certification test. Till the next time, drone family, peace.